People, deluded, I'm back again. Spurs 2, Arsenal 1. It's peak, people. We lost the North London derby. We lost it from a winning position. I mean, the only benefits today is that Harry Kane is the first derby in God knows how long that Harry Kane hasn't been on the score sheet. You know, Lacazette scored in his first, well, it's the first start. He scored a goal under Arteta, I believe, in the Premier League. All his goals have come on as a substitute. And you know, before I forget about it and focus on other things, what a fantastic strike that was from the lad. And you know, Lacazette's had a hard time, but what can I say, people? You know, the North London derby, if Arsenal fans, if we won, you know, both team Spurs and Arsenal fans, we like to act like no team's relevant. For years, Arsenal fans, you know, you are little babies and whatnot in North London. Since Spurs have had Poch, they try to act like we're not relevant to each other. But we like to banter each other. We like to do all of these things. So bragging rights are were up for grabs. And like I told you lot in my preview, yeah, obviously I'm not going to say I knew Spurs were winning because I didn't know that. But this is what, and we engineered our own errors today. Spurs won because of our own individual problems today. Their corner came because we were starting to make stupid mistakes in the defence. Obviously we've taken the lead and conceded 30 seconds it felt like later. You know, Luiz, on watching that game, Luiz might have been able to do better, but I think it's a poor pass from Kolasinac. We've shot ourselves in the foot. Spurs have exploited that. Spurs have got the most important 3 points. We can have the possession, we can have all of these things. And this is what I was saying about in my preview. Like I said, there's many variables about the game, but just because Spurs are in poor form and they got smashed up against Sheffield, and you know, they're relying on own goals against Everton, and they haven't been Spurs since the restart, don't take that for meaning anything, because you know, like I told you, look, when your backs are against the wall, you have a choice to curl up into a ball or fight. And Spurs fought today. They got, you know, there's question marks over the players, there's question marks over the managers. You know, this was a game, you know, that they had to kind of win, and they've walked away with it, and they've done a masterclass. For Arsenal, again, we've dropped points from winning positions. We've watched us hold the lead, draw, and then lose. So it's more of the same. It's more of the same, man. It's more of the same. You know, in a lot of games we've lost, and a lot of games we've drawn, we've lost from winning positions. And again, game management, discipline, keeping the same standards when you're tired. These are the things that went against us. Because even, I'm jumping ahead a bit in my review, but even at half time, I was on Curtis's live stream. Even to my boys, I was saying, you know what, if I'm both teams, I'm not going to lie, should feel they could score again, feel they can do something in this game. But if I'm Spurs, I'm relishing it. Typically, you see teams in a bad bit of form, they can't play Arsenal and they get results like today. But I'm thinking, if I'm Jose, I'm sitting there at half time, I'm like, you know what, yeah, Arsenal, there's been heart in mouth moments for both teams, and both teams have kind of been troubled. But beyond Lacazette, and let's give it straight, Lacazette, it was a quality strike. This is me speaking as Jose. It's a quality strike. You hold your hands up and concede that. Beyond that, have they really tested Lloris? You know, there's been a couple half chances from Pepe. Aubameyang should have scored a tap-in. There hasn't been anything. Go out there and win that. And you saw Arsenal, for once we started off the second half good, but there was complacency, there was arrogance. I felt throughout both halves we played like the team who kind of, I won't say less rid on this match, but going into this game, the talking points were clearly more Spurs and their form than us. And I think you saw a bit of that from Spurs. I think first 10 minutes went to Spurs. First 5-10 minutes, I think we couldn't get out of our area. I think beyond Ceballos and a couple of others, no one really looked like they was kind of switched on. You know, I think we couldn't get out of our own area. I think we were struggling to spread passes. I feel as the first half developed, clearly it wasn't a game for wide men in that, I mean, attacking forwards or the attacking wide men. I know Son scored today, and I don't even know he took the corner. But you know, the players that were really on the ball for me was the men in the midfield and really the fullbacks. You know, Tierney for us, Davies had a shot in the first half for them. Aurier, you know, I felt he started off okay, but he kind of started to deteriorate, and that was an area we should have exploited. Even early on, people, that ball to Aubameyang, it wasn't happening. Like, it wasn't happening. Spurs, they were sitting in their shape, in their 4-4-2, and I think that was one thing they got spot on. I think Sissoko had an underrated performance today from Spurs. You know, I think Jose Mourinho's comments about referees, it came back to work for him, because how long did it take Winks to get a yellow card? Lo Celso should have been booked time ago. I'm not gonna lie, there were some Arsenal decisions that I felt should have went for Spurs. But yeah, man, I think they did what they needed to do. Obviously, Arsenal, the good of it, you know, at a time we did look dangerous on the counter. It did look like both teams in the first half could score, and we were actually the ones to take the lead and things like that. It's a lovely strike from Lacazette, and it's his first goal starting a Premier League game under Arteta, and it's good for him. And in that game, you're thinking, yo, like, be solid. I'm not gonna lie to you lot. Beyond Mustafi, I didn't really have much faith in our back three today. Like Mustafi, second half was kind of atrocious. First half, he looked up for it. Luiz, I don't think Luiz was poor, but it looked like he weren't, like, you know, when a man's not really switched on. Not that he's not focused, but you're not really up for this thing today. Kolasinac, you know. And again, no disrespect, but it's like with Luiz, with Kolasinac, with Mustafi, no matter how much games they put on the bounce playing well, no matter how well they play, no disrespect to them, and I mean this with no agendas, but they always reveal their levels, and it's these sort of games that are costing us. They'll probably go on and play well to the end of the season, but it's these performances that cost us when the time matters, when it's time to switch up and be counted, stand up and be counted, sorry people. We let ourselves down, and for me, even in the first half, there was a couple heart and mouth moments. I think Martinez did well all game, but I remember specifically he played an underhit pass. There was a couple of them, like Kane, maybe sharper Kane scores, like definitely when he tried to chip Martinez. You know, you could see in this game we're engineering our own mistakes when Spurs are having problems. You know, Pepe lost the ball and they went on the counter. You know, shortly after taking the lead after a great strike, what is happening with Kolasinac? He's kind of killed Mustafi. I mean, sorry, not Mustafi, David Luiz. And to be fair, if it's not Luiz in that position, it's normally him causing that. And then this is the thing, people. Like, I'm hearing, no disrespect, but I'm hearing talk of Mustafi. I think had a better game than the defenders out of all of them, and I don't think he was atrocious, but I'm hearing talk of new deals. I mean, this is what I mean by letting form cloud judgments, because when the tough times come, this is where we're in. And obviously it's great for Spurs. When we look beyond the North London banter and laughing and all the friends texting me and stuff, we've engineered our own problems today. We've shot ourselves in the foot conceding. Yeah, going into half time, what is said, people, I have to be out there and I have to say both sets of fans, I'm not players, sorry, they should feel that they can score. They should feel that there's enough opportunities here. I feel both sets of teams gave enough to at half time want to walk away and think you can get something. And like I said earlier, with it from a Spurs perspective, beyond that really great Lacazette chance and a couple balls from Tierney, Bellerin was getting forward, there weren't really much that Lloris had to do, so there's still something in it. We shot ourselves in the foot. That goal in the second half was coming for 2-1 for Alderweireld. Like, Tierney's marking him. I don't know why. I guess he's briefed by coaching staff. It's a mismatch. Toby's very good in the air, and it's a lovely it's a lovely delivery, and it's a lovely header to match. But beyond that, we were on top in the second half, sorry. But we're engineering our own mistakes. Several players are losing the ball, and they're going and counter-attacking us and having problems. And that's where the corner came from. They won the corner because of lapses in concentration. Mustafi, who I felt was good in the first half, really good in the first half. I think only Ceballos really playing better than him of sorts. He's starting to drop into old habits. He's starting to dive in like you saw with Harry Kane. You know, people are not aware of what's going on, and we shot ourselves in the foot, people. We were really, I feel in the first 5 to 10 minutes we struggled to retain the ball. Like I said, there was a lot of heart and mouth moments. We really struggled to manage the game. We struggled to keep men back to be able to defend. We struggled to go and get that second goal. And until we learn to cut out these individual mistakes, they're going to be here. And I think it's a case where maybe Arteta will have to learn these harsh lessons, because he does seem to retain faith in a number of individuals. So he's going to have that. Also got to big up Ben Davies of Spurs, because he made people. I thought it was over when he took that shot and hit the bar. Obviously in the second half, Aubameyang had a good chance and he hit the post as well. But beyond that, it was really a madness, people. It was really a madness. To be honest, I'm looking for my. I did think we lacked a bit of intensity as well. I know a lot of that's going to be because both sets of players can't really feed off the North London energy, or for Spurs, the Spurs fans, we can't react to the Spurs fans gassing up their players. But I think we lacked a little bit of urgency. Like I said, for me, the first and the last 10 minutes are the most crucial of the game. Like you saw for the goal we conceded, ironically, for the defeat, and for it setting the tone. And I think, I don't feel Spurs were amazing, but I felt in that first 10 passage, people, they were the team. They looked like a team that, you know, the context of what's been happening, we look like we're still in a bit of daycare mode, like we're just going to turn up and play. Like, we look like, with all due respect to Wolves, because they're a better team than us, but obviously your guard is going to be, you're not going to have as much emotion for Wolves as an Arsenal player or Spurs player playing against your North London rivals sort of thing. For us, it's a kick in the teeth. Like, we got nothing to play for. Apart from finishing ahead of Spurs in the FA Cup. But for me, I said 3 cup finals, because of going in. For me, I wanted a good performance today. You know, we're going to get ourselves handed to us in the week against Liverpool, but a respectable defeat, if that is the case. Momentum or something going into that game against City, because the FA Cup's all you got. And if you play a cup final like that, which some of these individuals are being part of a couple cup finals, you know you're not walking up holding no trophy at Wembley. Like, again, I think we've dropped about 12 or more points. I think Sky Sports said, I don't know the context, but 12 points from winning positions. You know, we shot ourselves in the foot, and we gave Spurs hope because we're not taking our chances. We're creeping into old habits, and gaps are open on the field, and they're getting on the counters. You know, you're giving Spurs hope. We haven't got the maddest of score lines in terms of margin. So you giving, this is what happens. If it's not Spurs, it's another team. It's Brighton. You know, it's any other team that's defeated us this season. Sorry, it's lapses in concentration and allowing teams to build confidence. You know, Spurs would have probably been happy to walk away with a point prior to the game, like us, but they're walking away with a 2-1 now, and they're probably saying to themselves, like I said before the game, you don't want a team to win today and then this kick-starts their season. Now Spurs, it's unlikely they'll qualify for the Champions League, similar to us. But again, as long as things are mathematically possible, you should be looking at that, and you could probably go in there. Spurs will be under no illusion. There were elements of luck in this game, but there was also good plus points for them to take, and they're probably sitting there going, "Yo, our season kind of starts now. What we want to do next season builds now." Do you get it? There was elements of a tactical masterclass from Jose as well. But for me, I don't want to sound sour because Spurs were okay. But I think we lost this because we engineered our own errors, and it's time and time again. It's the same problems that are the reason we conceded and drew at the bridge. It's the same reason, ironically, against Chelsea we lost at the Emirates. Ironically, you know, why we didn't get a result against Old Trafford with the goal we conceded there before Aubameyang got a goal, even though VAR tried to say not let it happen. You know, if it's not these cheap goals, it's red cards. If it's not these red cards, it's conceding goals you're not supposed to concede. So we know the themes of Arsenal, you know, lack of game management. I did think Arteta was slow to react with the subs because you did feel like he did need some energy. There is that, man. Beyond the fact that Lacazette scored a cracker, and I felt Lacazette was alright. I feel Ceballos was okay today, you know, and Kane didn't get on the score sheet as a Spurs fan, as a Spurs player, sorry, as an Arsenal fan. That's encouraging. But beyond that, we shot ourselves in the foot, and if you play like this against Liverpool, you know it's not going to be no 2-1. It's going to be the cricket scores Mo Salah and them man have been giving us. I'm praying to God Klopp plays his under-18s, people, and even his under-18s, like in the Carling Cup, they still give us a game. Like, I'm praying to God, and, you know, Liverpool, with all due respect, I'm not disrespecting them because I know Klopp's onto them, but they haven't got nothing to really play for this season, so they're in holiday mode. You can forget about that against Man City the same week, or, you know, after that fixture. If you play like this against some Spurs in poor form, you know, what is going to happen? Because again, Kane might have not got on the score sheet, people, but it's another game where I'm looking at Kane specifically, I'm looking at fullbacks, I'm looking at centre halves, and they're not aware, people. You know, you've got to be gracious. If we won, I would have been here to scream North London is red and all of these things. You know, Spurs and Arsenal fans, we've got nothing more this season but that. So you have to be gracious in defeat. You know, Spurs at the end of the day, big 3 points, question marks by their fans, question marks on the players, of the management, of the club and everything. And there still will be a lot of that. But at the end of the day, they can go to bed easy today. They got their bragging rights. They can tweet all their madness. They can troll their friends like my friends are trolling me. You know, we engineered this problem, you know. We didn't really test Lloris too much. What chances did we really test Lloris? And in the small chances, players didn't score. But it's not a thing where it's all on one man. This is a collective cocktail. Failed to take our chances, failed to manage the game, failed to switch on after taking the lead and making the lead our own, people. Do you get it? Failed to, when you're getting tired, hold up them same high standards. This is the same. We have shot ourselves in the foot, you know. We have been holding winning positions twice this week now, people. Forgive me if I'm wrong, and football's moved so fast. We've only played one game this week. I'm sure on Wednesday, Thursday, whenever we played Leicester. We've dropped points from winning positions, and for me, what are these players doing, fam? Like, are these players not like? I'm sorry, but if I'm an Arsenal player, do I not sit here? Forget the result here. Forget the fact that you played Spurs, but Spurs, Leicester, you know, Wolves at home, Palace at home. Are some of you not bored being in this situation and clocking these themes of late goals and conceding when you're winning? And even in this game week, like, did you not, like, Arteta can tell me until he's blue in the face, and I feel sorry for Arteta, you know, about what the club needs to do better and all of these things, and how we're improving and how we're learning from our mistakes. But the same problems that happen and were a reason for us dropping points at home against Leicester are a reason why we've gone to the new Spurs stadium and failed to win. Like I said, give credit to Spurs. Jose Mourinho, his first North London derby as gaffer at home. I know the fans ain't there, and that's the only downside for Spurs fans. He's taken 3 points. Likewise, it's Arteta's first game in the North London derby. He's on the losing side. Hopefully, you know, we can still finish above them and go far in the FA Cup. But in relation to today, you know, credit to Spurs. They're the better team. They won, regardless of if you don't think they're the better team, they got the 3 points. So they are the better men than us today. We go back to the drawing board, and we've been going back to the drawing boards, but people have to want to read the drawing boards. But it is what it is, man. Certain individuals are always going to be in decent form, but they will always show their level. They will always show their level. Kolasinac will always show his level. Mustafi will always show his level, who I even think was decent today. Luiz will always show his level. They will go on good runs of form, but when the time comes and there's things that mean anything, they will let you down. And it's good that, you know, even the best players, you know, Messi and Van Dijk and all of these great players, Ronaldo, they're not at it some days. But they're at it more times than not. You know, more time than not, we're looking at these Arsenal players and they're doing these things. And when you're doing this 10 or so times in the season, it's damaging. It is what it is, people. You know, we deserve to lose. On many hands, you could say football's cruel and we didn't deserve to lose. But I think when you don't do several things that you know prior to the game you should be doing, football will always teach you a harsh lesson. This is the harsh reality of where Arsenal Football Club sadly is at the moment. And Arteta knows the mammoth task he has, but he's probably under no illusion if he was under any. And I will say for Arteta, I know maybe playing, I'm not criticising for it at the back, but what I'm saying is the systems he's using and the personnel he's using, a lot of it is because he can't do nothing at this moment in time about it. So I don't want to draw conclusions as to this individual's going to play, that individual's a part of his thing. But I just feel, you know, there's many qualities I see from him that Wenger had in him, and I feel one is that it's a good thing, but a bad thing is that he's loyal to players. And again, I'm no football manager. I don't know football to the level he does. I hope to be wrong. But managers, certain loyalties to certain individuals could cost you your job here. Like, it's that real. It could cost you success or failure, because this is happening time and time again. And I believe when the same theme appears, you're not making mistakes, you're making choices. That doesn't mean you're going out there intentionally playing bad, but you're not making an active effort to learn where you're going wrong. And if it's not, you know, Son today and who else scored? Son and Toby today is somebody else, people. If it's not a North London derby, this happens when we're on whatever motorway in whatever game, people. So we need to learn. For us, it's a disaster, you know. We heard a lot of talk prior to the game, but from players, from the club, and failed to deliver. This is why you need to talk. The doing is expensive, but I've done enough chatting, man. For me, I'm going to go get my dinner now, people. Yeah, man, I'd love to hear your opinions. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and do the rest. I'm out.